Sometimes it's not in the words, it's in the energy, in the pauses between glances, in the way someone stands a little closer. The silence before something begins, not ends. And while they haven't said anything yet, their soul already has. You felt that invisible pull, like someone's presence is brushing past your skin even though they haven't touched you. They're not speaking, but their energy is loud. Not chaotic, not desperate, just ready. Not everyone who notices you wants to step forward. But when someone is truly ready, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, the signs begin to show. Not in grand gestures, but in the smallest shifts, the most human ones. Let's uncover them now. Here are 10 signs someone is truly ready to approach you. Not just flirt, not just play, but approach. With intent, with sincerity. If someone's showing up regularly, it's clear they care. But what other signs tell you they're ready to approach? Sign 1. They linger in your orbit. They're always around, but never in your face. Not loud, just close enough to feel intentional. You catch their eyes watching when you're distracted. They look away quick, like they weren't staring. They position themselves nearby in casual little ways. Not forced, just naturally close whenever you're present. They remember small details you didn't say twice, like your favorite drink or a random joke. They find small excuses just to talk briefly. Not deep talks, but just enough to stay. They pause longer in conversations when you speak. Not interrupting, just quietly soaking in your words. They show up in places you usually visit. Not following, but appearing more than coincidence allows. They lean in slightly when you start speaking. Not too close, just focused with full attention. They mirror your movements without even realizing it, like matching your energy without thinking about it. They check your reaction before they make jokes, like your laughter matters more than anyone else's. They give compliments that sound honest and unplanned. Not flirty, just naturally thoughtful and well-timed. They laugh at your jokes more than others. Not fake laughs, but genuinely enjoying your energy. They seem calm, but fidget slightly near you, like they're balancing interest with nervous respect. They hesitate before walking away from conversations, like they're hoping for a reason to stay. They offer help with things you didn't ask. Small gestures that show they want to connect. They don't need attention, but they want yours. They're waiting patiently for a moment that feels right. When someone prioritizes you, it says a lot about their intentions. So, how else can you tell they're ready to approach? Sign 2. Their body language gives them away. They face you even when in group settings. Their shoulders turn slightly, giving you their attention. Their feet often point toward where you are. That direction says more than their actual words. They fix their appearance when you walk in. Adjusting clothes, touching hair, subtle signs of alertness. They lean forward when you're sharing something personal. Not interrupting, just wanting to hear it all. They nod along while you're telling your story, tracking every word, showing real emotional engagement. They don't check their phone around you much. You feel like a priority in that moment. They mirror how you sit or move casually, like syncing up without trying to seem obvious. They react to your emotions in real time, smiling when you do, frowning if you're down. They keep their body open, not closed off. Arms relaxed, posture inviting, eyes always on you. They angle their chair closer without drawing attention. Little moves that shrink distance without making it weird. They tilt their head slightly while you speak. It's subtle curiosity mixed with full attention. They step back when you need space emotionally. They're aware of energy without being told directly. They don't flinch when silence sits between you. It's a calm presence, not awkward or forced. Their voice softens slightly when speaking just to you, like a tone reserved only for those moments. They laugh with their whole body near you. Not just sound, but eyes, smile, posture included. They linger a little longer than necessary when leaving, almost like they're waiting for something to happen. It's those small things that show they're paying attention. Let's look at another sign that might give it away. Sign 3, they seek eye contact. They look into your eyes more than normal. Not just quick glances, but sustained, intentional contact. Their pupils dilate when you talk to them, a physical sign of interest they can't hide. They smile when your eyes meet by accident. It's a soft, knowing look like they're happy. They look up at you when speaking across rooms. No matter the distance, their focus stays locked. Their gaze follows you when you move around. It's subtle but unmistakable when you catch it. They seem to look for you in crowded spaces, always searching for a glimpse of you, unnoticed. They hold your gaze even when others talk. Not rude, just making sure you're part of it. They tend to glance at you before speaking. A little pause as if waiting for a moment. They catch your eye when you're not looking. You feel like they've been watching from afar. They don't shy away from making eye contact. In fact, they often initiate it to connect. They blink less often when they're looking at you, a sign that they're more focused than usual. They soften their expression when your eyes meet, like their face relaxes just by seeing you. They seem to notice things about your eyes, like the way your eyes change when you smile. Their eyes brighten when you enter a room. It's like you're the first thing they see. They don't look away immediately after talking. Instead, they hold your gaze just a bit longer. Sometimes presence speaks louder than words. But what about the way they show up emotionally? Let's dive into that. Sign 4. They start being protective. They step in when they see you uncomfortable. Not overbearing, just subtly defending your space. They stand a little taller when someone challenges you. Not with aggression, but with a protective presence. They'll make sure you're okay in a group, watching for signs that you're feeling left out. They step between you and any potential trouble, like putting themselves in your way instinctively. They subtly shield you from things they sense, a simple move to make you feel safe. They make sure you're included in conversations, even when others forget to ask about you. They notice when you're not feeling your best, stepping in to offer help without you asking. They'll speak up for you even if you're quiet, stepping in to protect your interests naturally. They offer to drive or walk you home, ensuring you don't feel alone after dark. They'll remove obstacles that stand in your way, like clearing a path so you don't feel hindered. They prioritize your comfort in uncomfortable situations, like making sure you're seated or not overlooked. They become very aware of your needs subtly, offering help or support in ways you need. They step up when someone's being disrespectful to you, not in an aggressive way, but with firm words. They stay close when you're around other people. Not too close, just enough to show they care. They watch out for your emotional well-being often, checking in when they sense you're feeling off. Vulnerability can be a big step forward. But how do they show they're comfortable enough to take the next step? Sign 5. They open up about themselves. They share personal stories without you prompting them, opening up about their past, their fears and dreams. They talk about their family or childhood memories, revealing moments of vulnerability, trusting you to listen. They talk about their past relationships honestly, not in a bitter way, just in a real way. They show you their weaknesses without shame. Like, they're not afraid to be imperfect with you. They give you glimpses of their future goals, as if they want you to be part of it. They show you their interests, what they care about, sharing personal hobbies or passions that mean a lot. They don't hold back when discussing their emotions, like letting their guard down and trusting you fully. They talk about what makes them nervous or scared, not looking for sympathy, but sharing their truth. They reveal things that they normally keep hidden, like deep thoughts or things they don't usually say. They tell you about their most significant memories, the ones that shaped who they are today. They speak candidly about what matters most to them, giving you an inside look into their heart. They express vulnerability in ways that feel natural, not forced, just real emotions flowing freely. They'll open up about their dreams and fears, making you feel like they trust you deeply. They talk about their ambitions without holding back, like they're excited to share their future with you. They let you into their private world, offering pieces of themselves they've kept hidden. Curiosity about your life is a strong signal. but there's more to it than just questions. Let's move on to another telling sign. Sign 6. They start asking about your life. They ask about your childhood with genuine curiosity, wanting to know what shaped the person you are. They ask about your dreams and what you want, like they care about your future, not just now. They inquire about your family dynamics openly, trying to understand how your relationships formed you. They ask what your favorite memories are, trying to learn the moments that define you. They wonder about your past relationships and lessons. Not to compare, just trying to know your journey. They care about your career and passions deeply, wanting to know what drives you to succeed. They ask about your hobbies and what excites you, trying to find out what makes you happy. They ask about your fears without hesitation, not prying, but showing they care about your struggles. They want to know what keeps you up at night, trying to understand your concerns and deep thoughts. They listen carefully when you talk about goals, offering insight or support to help you grow. They inquire about your daily routine and habits, curious about the little things that keep you grounded. They ask about the things you regret most, like they're trying to understand your life story. They wonder about what inspires you and why, taking a deep interest in your emotional triggers. They care about what you want in a partner, showing they want to fit into your future. They seem genuinely interested in your mental health, asking how you're really feeling, not just casually. True emotional support goes beyond surface-level gestures. Now, let's explore a sign that's often a little more subtle. Sign 7. They engage with your social media. They like your posts more than others do, not just once, but consistently showing support online. They comment on your photos with thoughtful words, not generic compliments, but specific personal remarks. They message you about things you post often, bringing up random things you've shared before. They follow your stories and seem to enjoy them, responding with emojis or messages that feel real. They like the photos that show your personality, not just the posed or perfect pictures. They share your posts with others secretly. They want your content to reach more people. They keep your posts in mind in conversations, bringing up something you posted months ago. They remember what you've posted without prompting. Like, they've been quietly following your updates. They show up to events you tag them in, even if it's just to show support for you. They reference your photos and updates in chats, giving you that feeling that they care deeply. They interact with your posts when no one else does, making you feel seen in a sea of people. They repost your stories on their account proudly, sharing your words, photos, and ideas openly. They send you a message about your posts, engaging with your thoughts and showing interest. They bring up your latest post in person, showing they're keeping up with what you share. They appreciate your creativity or the content you make, making sure you know they're invested in you. Keeping a conversation flowing means they're invested. But how else can you tell they're ready to approach you? Sign 8. They initiate contact. They text or call you first every time, never waiting for you to reach out first. They respond quickly when you message them back. It's clear they're not just waiting around. They find reasons to start conversations regularly, making sure you know they're thinking about you. They remember things you said and follow up, reaching out to see how you're doing often. They message you about random things they noticed, just small details that show they're paying attention. They text you in the morning just to say hi, not for anything important, just to check in. They ask about your day, even when busy. They want to know about your life updates. They reach out on special days, like holidays, making sure you're not forgotten during important moments. They text when they're thinking of you, even when there's no special reason to contact. They share small personal updates with you directly, keeping you in the loop because they trust you. They stay in touch when things get busy, making sure distance doesn't fade the connection. They send you photos or little updates often. Not always important, but showing they're present. They'll call you when it's unexpected but needed, like wanting to hear your voice out of nowhere. They text you after an event to follow up, making sure you're feeling okay after the day. They make sure to stay in touch often, reaching out so that the connection stays strong. Jealousy isn't always obvious, It's a quiet signal, but it shows they care. So, what's another sign they might be getting closer? Sign 9, they get jealous, in a subtle way. They seem a bit uncomfortable when others talk to you. Not overtly jealous, but noticeably protective of your attention. They notice when someone else is getting too close. A brief pause in conversation as they watch carefully. They ask about your interactions with other people. Not accusing, just curious about your social life. They subtly position themselves between you and others. Not obvious, just a small shift of proximity. They react to other people's compliments about you. Not negatively, but they seem to process it deeply. They comment more when others are around you, like they want to make sure you're noticed. They hold back a little when other people talk to you, giving others space but subtly watching. They keep an eye on your other connections. Not openly jealous, but aware of your social life. They seem protective when another person gets too close. Not aggressive, but visibly uncomfortable with certain actions. They'll ask you about certain people in your life. Curiosity disguised as casual questions, but it's deeper. They get unusually quiet when you're talking to others, like they're processing emotions they don't express openly. They want to know what you think about others, trying to gauge your level of interest in them. They get a little possessive over your time, like they want your attention without competition. They avoid talking about jealousy, but show it indirectly. Through actions more than words, they keep tabs. They're careful with their actions when other people are near. They want to make sure you're never overlooked. When someone starts planning their future around you, it's a clear indicator. And now, let's wrap things up with how to know they're in it for the long run. Sign 10. They start making plans with you. They ask you to hang out more often. Not just once, but suggesting regular meetups. They suggest activities you both could enjoy, planning out dates or casual hangouts ahead of time. They want to make future plans, not just today. Talking about things down the line with you. They try to include you in events they plan, making sure you're part of their social circle. They suggest trips or adventures they'd love to take, inviting you along for experiences they enjoy. They talk about places they want to go together, suggesting ideas that make you both part of it. They leave openings in their schedule for you, trying to make time for you without excuses. They ask about your availability weeks ahead, showing they want to secure your time early. They suggest spontaneous outings, just the two of you, making moments to connect, even with short notice. They try to get your opinion on activities, asking what you'd prefer or what interests you most. They remember past conversations and bring them up, planning activities based on things you've shared before. They plan ahead because they want to include you. Their time revolves around making room for you. They keep checking to see if you're free, hoping you'll say yes to any suggestion they make. They ask you to commit to future plans, like they want you to be a constant. They find ways to make you feel involved, making sure you're always part of their world. Share this with someone who's been waiting for the right person, someone who's felt overlooked but never unseen. And if that person is you, take a deep breath. Because when you're ready to receive, they'll be ready to arrive. Subscribe for more messages you didn't know you needed. And remember, the right energy doesn't chase, it aligns.